Joining us now on the show is Mr. VD Nanavaty, Executive Director and CFO at the company. Mr. Nanavaty, good morning and thanks a lot for joining us on Bloomberg Quinn. I can see the fertilizer business growth has been pretty good. Operating performance overall, you've registered double-digit margins this time around of 11%, and the EBIT specifically from the fertilizer segment has seen a substantial pickup. If you could tell us the volume growth that one saw for both your fertilizer and chemical business for this quarter?
Yeah, so we have a strong volume growth of around 24% in Q4, and overall for the whole year it was around 30%, and we hope to continue this march in the current year also. We are targeting more than 25% volume growth in fertilizer. Caprolactam, which is a main chemical product in our portfolio, because of these rising crude prices, the caprobenzene spread has also improved recently. Last year it was around $800. It has gone to $1,000 and further improved to around $1,200 in the current scenario. So going forward, we will see more improved the industrial product performance also.
Right. Mr. Nanavaty, how are you viewing trends in raw material costs? I ask this because we've seen an expansion in margins despite the fact that there has been an upward trajectory for a lot of your inputs. Can you give us an idea about how these trends are developing for the company?
Yeah, in fertilizers, as you correctly mentioned, there is a pressure on the margin because of the rising input cost. The phosphate acid price was increased from $567 in December to $678 and further to $730 in this Q1 18-19. So manufacturers were also forced to raise the MRP of this phosphatic fertilizer. It was increased by around 2,000 rupees in Q4, and again it has been increased by 1,000 rupees in this Q1, and there is further possibility of rise because of this dollar exchange rupee volatility, rupee getting lower and lower, which has crossed more than 68 now. So, but there is a limit at which the farmers will buy these fertilizers at such a high price. So it cannot be just kept on increasing. So there will be selling pressure and margin pressure on the fertilizers in the at least Q1.
Okay, which would also mean, Mr. Nanavaty, that the double-digit margin growth that you've registered, it may not be sustainable?
Possible, yeah, it may not be sustainable.
Okay, just wanted to get a word on the subsidy front. What's been the subsidy flow in the fourth quarter? If I'm not wrong, I think you were looking at a figure of somewhere 800 crore to come by the end of this fiscal.
Yeah, so government resorted to this special banking arrangement in Q4 and tried to clear as much subsidy as possible before rollout of DBT on pan-India basis. So for most of the companies, December 17 up to December 17 or January 18 dues have been paid, the clear dues, but there were some issues of the past coming because of the FMS system and all. So those issues remain, but government has tried to give possibility what is possible, and of course the newer budget is also passed with more provision for phosphatic fertilizers. So if the DBT things roll out properly at least on the technical side, if there are no problems, the subsidy flow will continue during this year also.
Okay, Mr. Nanavaty, we'll leave it at that. Thanks for joining us and giving us an update on the company's earnings.